Hello, fellow slingshot enthusiasts. This is Dave's video blog concerning slingshots. Here is the full collection. Just a quick history of what's going on here. The one on the left is the very first slingshot I made while I was waiting for a video for another hobby I do to compile. I put that together, and I was shooting all kinds of stuff, including homemade ammunition, which is basically little pieces of plastic coated coax for video purposes. Having a lot of fun while I waited for my order to come in from Amazon. And my order from Amazon did come in, but in the meantime, before that happened, I went out to Canadian Tire and bought this, which I love. I didn't know. I thought at the time that the bands were better than the tubes, but now I have no opinion one way or the other. I have things I like about the bands. I have things I like about the tubes. I find that these tubes, which are easy to get, are cheap and pretty powerful. So I bought this, and I played with that with great success. It was both 9mm and 9.5mm and 6mm steel balls. And then I was watching one of George's videos. He talked about making in a pinch, and like when you can't get to the store and buy something. So he said, let's see if we can put something together with something we already have in our house. So I put this together, which is basically a pair of large pliers, and I had some bands, which had arrived the day before I got this bright idea, and I made this. Basically, it's duct tape, an old rag, and a pair of pliers, and of course a set of bands. Then this arrived in the mail, and basically, I'm not sure if you can see it, but right where my thumb is pointing are there you can see it now. Two strike marks, and both times I hit the fork right there, it came straight back at me. Luckily for me, it was on a slight angle, so it missed my head. That's why I always wear safety glasses now. Also, while shooting this guy, I had a band break and come back and smack me in the face. I was wearing regular glasses at the time, and it was nowhere near my eyes anyways, but it could have been. So I've learned my lesson. Whenever I shoot now, I shoot with a pair of safety glasses, which I tested basically by shooting them with full strength with a 9mm ball, and they survived, to my surprise. So I always wear them now. Anyways, the point of this video is I was on the forum for the Slingshot channel, or if you prefer, the Slingshot channel forum, and there was a fella that came on and said that he was getting fork strikes, and that of course caught my attention. So I watched the video, and one of the responders put a link into one of George's videos where he talked about fork strikes and the importance of checking your equipment if you get one. So that was good to know. This thing is made out of very sturdy composite material and took a full hit. Okay, so anyways, he showed in that video a reason why the forks may be hit, and he gave a very simple solution which I have adopted. So let me show you what I learned from George. And basically what he talked about was when you hold the slingshot in your hand. Now, the way I have been shooting is like this. See if you can see what's more important, what's going on with the pouch. For one thing, this pouch is too small for 9mm balls. It's really not advisable to use a pouch that small for anything larger than 6mm balls. But it can be done safely if you follow some simple rules. This is how I used to shoot. Now George, I think, shoots this way over But what he does, so he doesn't get fork strikes or hand strikes, which are worse, from my opinion. Okay, what he does is he takes his thumb and rotates it 90 degrees. And that, he says, will give you a upward trajectory, because your thumb, you see, is bent slightly upwards, and the ball has to come up and over. That gives it sort of a upward trajectory, which is a perfect trajectory for shooting, by the way. Since I shoot in the so-called gangster, and I switched to gangster because I was hitting the forks a lot when I tried to shoot this way, and I never could really figure out where the aiming spot was. With the gangster stance, I use this little red piece of plastic sticking up as a sight. So I put it on the target, pick my anchor point, which is my ear, and let it go. And I had some pretty good luck with that, as long as I was using 6mm balls. So now what I do is I take the ball, I take these two fingers and hold the bottom of the pouch, so to speak. Well, when I put it in position, it'll be the top of the pouch. And this thumb comes up and over slightly, see? Then when I take the gangster stance, instead of shooting like this, I shoot like this. I rotate 90 degrees instead of 180. And works perfectly with a 6, which is no real test because it worked perfectly with a 6 even when I used the wrong method. Okay, so let's move up to a 9mm ball. Well, I missed the target, but I didn't hit the forks. That's the point. Okay, again, 90 degrees. Perfect shot. So again, from shooting like this to shooting like this, with your thumb just a little bit on top of your index finger, and when you release, the ball will go up and over. Now, while we're on the topic, my very first homemade slingshot, the one it's dearest to my heart because it is the first. I guess you could call it the firstborn. I've injured myself twice with this. Hit my hand. As a matter of fact, I hit my hand this morning right there. Left a dent. And again here. And even when I didn't hit my hand or the forks, this is one I wouldn't want to hit with a 9mm because it would probably break. And I don't want to break this because I can't find these anymore. They don't seem to make them. Anyways, let's shoot a 6mm. As you can see, well, you can't see, but I did hit, you can tell by the thwack that it hit the paper as opposed to the wall or the chair or something else I don't want it to hit, like me. Okay, so I used to shoot like this. Now I shoot like this. No problem with the 6mm balls. So we'll try this one. Well, didn't go where I aimed it, but it did hit the paper. Well, that one was high. Okay, so that's the trick. 90-degree turn. Thumb over the little finger as much as you can get it. And start with a gentle pull until you get your confidence up, and then once you know that you're set up properly, your thumb will cause it to up and over. I have no idea how this is going to work, but here we go. Oh, not bad. What I did was selected again my left fork, and this is my front sight. Put it over the center of the target, and I don't think it hit the center, but it was pretty close, I think. Okay, my friends, there you have it. A little lesson I learned from York and one of his faithful followers. Happy shooting, safe shooting, and please hit the like button if you get anything interesting and you think this is at all interesting. If you think it's baloney, hit the dislike button. And if you feel like it, you can subscribe to my channel, and we'd be glad to have you. Leave me some comments too. If you have any suggestions, and I think I'm going to have to start finding some way to make my own pouches. And if you have any ideas like where to get leather, the right kind of leather for this, let me know. Bye for now.